Today on the podcast, we're going to be talking about a bunch of huge updates that have happened from Google and how they relate to your business. Bryce, what are you seeing in this space? I know they've been doing stuff pretty much all year. There's a bunch of stuff rolling out. What's the latest on this?
Yeah, the latest and greatest. So the most concerning one for business owners that they should know about, well, there's really two. One is that edits have become super, super easy to go through on Google Maps. So I don't know if you've ever tried to do a suggested edit. Google is really big on customer feedback and people's people leaving reviews, leaving photos, adding photos to Google business profiles. They really want to encourage that. And as part of that, they've also encouraged people customer feedback on verifying hours, verifying addresses. And it's gone a little bit too far now. Now they're accepting edits from third-party users instantly.
Oof.
And so what that means is if I want to change, like I'm your competitor and I want to change your address, I can go into Google Maps and suggest the edit and say that you live in Tucson or your office is in Tucson, and Google will instantly accept that as credible and move your listing. And so that's become a huge scam and huge scare for a lot of business owners. I mean, I don't really want to advertise too much about it, to be honest, because now everyone's going to do it too. But you have to
Have you heard of people having bad experiences?
I have heard of people having bad experiences. I've had one client be flagged so far, which isn't. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I don't want to advertise my clients' names publicly when I do case studies. Because I'm worried my competitors are going to be like, "Oh, screw Bryce and his clients," and go flag them all. Because now you're able to, and before people would just suggest edits, and sometimes if you suggest edits enough, then Google would accept it, or they would try to say that the business is deleted or suspended, and they could sometimes do it if they have a high enough trusted local guide account. But now it's instant, and any email is able to do it.
So you could just go and say any company is shut down around you?
No, not shut down, but especially the address. That's the one that's
change the address.
Usually change address is a really hard edit to push through, but right now it's just instant. And so some people are doing it. I mean, there is some positive with this as well. Like, for example, if I'm in Phoenix and I actually want to rank more in Mesa or Scottsdale, I can move my pin now wherever I want. And I can rank there almost instantly. For example, if I see that there's not very many competitors in this neighborhood, but I really want to rank there, I could move my address.
And it's probably especially valuable for a business that's not like a walk-in. It's not a restaurant. It's like a roofing company. It's I'm not going to walk to the roofing company to talk to them. I'm going to call them on the phone and get them to come to my house. So then they just pop pins all over the place.
So people who are moving addresses or whatever, they're in luck because now they can do that without having to do. You used to have to file a reinstatement process and do another video when you move the address. You don't have to do that anymore. You can just do a suggested edit and it will automatically be moved, which is cool. And then other people will sometimes just test, Matt Bully. I don't know if you know him, but he was saying that he was just moving his address next door, just to see how it changes the rankings.
Okay.
And so he'll move it 100 feet to the right and 100 feet north, 100 feet left, and then just see and then do a scan before and after because it's instant. So he'll do a scan and then he's ranked 8, and then he'll do another scan, he's ranked 3, and he'll do another scan, he's ranked 1. He's like, what? Just from moving the address for some reason. Maybe it's just a bug of being, because sometimes Google ranks you better when you're updating things.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's why, but it's really interesting that he was able to get different results within almost the same address, but it's technically different.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of confusing to me, to be honest. But that's something that people are doing now. They're just because the option is there, might as well test it. And so that's a super black hat thing. I don't suggest you do it, but just be aware that somebody might do that to you. And so you have to be watching, because if you realize, I haven't gotten any leads this week, well, double check your GMB, because it might not even be in the same state.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah. So that's the biggest one that I mean, and there's no way to combat it besides just moving it back.
Watching it.
Just watching it. Yeah. There's not a setting or software that can just stop it. And I think this is kind of temporary. A lot of things get broken during Google updates, and I think this is one of the things that just is kind of broken.
Okay. And then eventually there'll be so many complaints they'll just reset it.
They'll fix it. Yeah. But as of now, and I'm sure that once it's moved, usually you won't get suspended. I mean, maybe eventually somebody will flag it and then it will get suspended, but you'll probably be fine moving the GMB, at least temporarily. Anyway, so that's one. The most upsetting update is that one, probably. Another one, I mean, there's a lot of different things. On Google Search, for example, another update that's going on right now is they are stopping the infinite scroll. Last year, they started the infinite scroll. They're no more Google pages.
Yeah.
It's going to make it easier, blah, 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 because then you can just get infinite results and just keep scrolling. They got rid of that. I think they're getting rid of that because it just takes too much work to generate the AI topic summary at the beginning and also all these different pages. That's just like a lot of work. And so they moved it back to 10 results. Not every market. Like sometimes I'll see the 10 results and then sometimes I'll see infinite scroll. So it's not like
They're
fully-
like they A/B test everything. They never
Yeah.
do a massive rollout.
yeah, but they announced that they're doing it now, so
Okay.
it's official.
It's gonna be happening.
It's going to the 10. And then another one that is also pretty upsetting is the local service ads. That's another huge one that businesses should be aware of. Local service ads is now advertising in Google Maps. So this is another default setting, just like when they added branded searches on local service ads. You don't have to accept anything. It's just automatically, it will be on the top. So instead of 3 results in Google Map Pack, it'll be 4, which sometimes they have, if you do a local extension on Google PPC, you could get that ad. But instead of that, they're just adding a local service ads there. And that's only currently rolled out on Apple iOS map version. But they said that it will be rolled out to every Google Maps platform in the near future. And then the other one that one's not a big deal. That's actually a good thing because it's just more leads for local service ads. Local service ads has become so saturated that the lead volume is down for a lot of markets since there's so many other companies to compete with. So this is, in my opinion, a good thing.
Might actually boost it a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bad one, well, the good and bad one is that Google is now removing the option to dispute leads. So this is really controversial. People obviously are pretty skeptical and think it's a really, really bad option because up until now, if you get a lead, if it's outside of your service area or if it's for the wrong service or if it's a spam call or someone looking for a job, you could go in and click the 3 dots and then click dispute and then select the reason why you're disputing it. And then Google will have a representative review it and then credit you back the funds.
Because you have got to pay for every single one.
Because you have to pay for every single lead.
Right.
And so that was one of the big selling features of these local service ads is you only pay for qualified leads. It's a pretty big deal. Google has been using AI ever since, the whole time they've always used AI to filter it. And so sometimes you wouldn't even get charged for the lead initially because their AI is able to catch it. But apparently they've been working on their AI and getting it advanced enough that they think we don't need to have the dispute option at all. And they'll just dispute them all automatically for us. The problem with that is the AI is not good at recognizing differences between intricate services. So like, for example, if I'm advertising for a roof repair, but I'm only advertising for roof replacement leads, but I don't want any roof repair or roof inspection leads. The AI is not gonna, if they're talking about roofing and roof repair and roof leak, all of those keywords are considered the same to Google's AI, at least in my opinion, from what I've seen. Yeah. And so you're not going to be able to dispute that. And they've also warned us. They said we're not going to be able. The disputes will be automated, but the categories of outside the service area and services, those aren't going to be disputed. And so that's kind of a red flag, obviously.
People will probably be getting stuff outside of the service area.
So it's just really important to like double check your service area, make sure because sometimes you'll get calls slightly outside of the service area. And so just maybe shrink it a little bit if you are worried about that. And also just turn off, like, for example, the other category, I would probably turn that off. Like right now there's like roofing, roof repair, roof replacement, and then other. And so just like turn off other because you'll probably get like random ones. And you won't be able to like dispute that anymore.
Gotcha.
And so that's the other thing. But overall, I actually think this is a good thing for most companies like that aren't working with an agency like mine. My agency, we have a dedicated representative who just listens to these calls and flags them. And we on average get, actually I don't know the numbers, but we get a ton of money back for all of our clients because we're disputing pretty much everything that's able to be disputed. And so that's, that was great for our clients. But most other companies, when I do audits or I get added to different accounts, most of them aren't disputing anything at all. And so they're losing thousands of dollars every month on wasted leads that could have been disputed, but they just didn't know to dispute. And so, and according to Google, when they sent the email, they said 90% of companies aren't using the dispute function properly, and a small percentage are disputing lots. And so they said this is going to be a good thing for the average company, which they're probably right because pretty much probably 90% of the people I've audited haven't been doing this properly.
Gotcha.
And so objectively, it's a good thing for the average company. It just kind of hurts that it's like my market advantage.
When you're going above and beyond, and they're like, no one needs to go above and beyond anymore. You're like, yeah,
I know, because we were doing this for people, and I feel like that was a really good value that we had, and that's taken away now. So maybe you don't need to work with an agency like me for managing local service ads anymore, because this is the biggest thing that we were doing for people.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's the biggest updates going on
Dang.
right now.
Tons
for
going
Google.
tons going on in Google. If you are working on any of those areas and you would like help managing and staying on top of it, because here's the thing. These are the changes that just happened. Next month, there's going to be more changes. The month after that, there's going to be more changes. If you're not on top of it, you're going to miss them out, and you're not going to see some of the ways you can take advantage of them or some of the ways that these might be negatively impacting you. So if you want to work with an expert on all of this that's going to keep you up to date on everything that Google is doing, make sure to reach out to Bryce at Magnetic Marketing SEO, and he's going to make sure that you are up to date, saving as much money as possible, and making as much money as possible. Thanks so much for tuning in to the podcast.
Thank you.